welcome to Thank Friday. It's wine. Every week I pick a wine that will sit happily in your fridge door or in the rack, and this week it's the turn of champagne. I picked a champagne because it's our wedding anniversary this week. We've been married for 15 years, which is just frightening, seeing as I still feel about 12. I picked up this champagne today because when I was out buying some food and wine for tonight, because we're just going to have dinner at home, I started with the wine before food, as I always do. Then I thought, well, if we have fizz of some kind, then it means we can also have a curry, because curry and champagne, or curry and bubbles, do work really well. Often have lager with a curry because it does have that brilliant kind of palate cleansing ability with the bubbles. Well, same goes for fizz. But there is a particular fizz that I chose, and that's because I went to a huge champagne tasting a couple of weeks ago as part of my job, which I know it doesn't sound like a real job, but I promise you it is. Anyway, I tasted hundreds of champagnes in one day. One of my favourites was a rosé champagne, and it's this one called Besserat de Bellefond. What makes this champagne particularly good is it's been made specifically to go with food. And what's different about this champagne is that it's made in a way that the bubbles are smaller, tinier bubbles, and it does have this kind of creamy texture to it compared with a normal champagne. It's a rosé, obviously, it's pink, it's made from the three main grape varieties, so it's Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, and it's a classic blend, and it's time we had a taste. We're gonna have this tonight, but I'm gonna open it now so that I can taste it with you. And then I'm going to stick a special stopper back on the top that'll keep the bubbles in. Try and twist the bottle, not the cork. So you've got the cork, your hand firmly on the top of the cork, I do it that way around, and then I'm just slowly twisting the bottle rather than the cork, and you want it to sigh, hopefully, like that. It's supposed to sound like a nun's fart. I'm sure somebody told me that, but why you'd know what a nun sounds like when she's farting, I don't know. Tonight, when we pour this, I'll be using these beautiful little coupes that we've got that my sister-in-law bought me from an old junk shop, but they're quite impractical for tasting because you can't really swill it. So for the purpose of tasting, I'm using a really good size wine glass. Pour this in. Just a little bit, angle the glass so the bubbles don't go too mad. It's a beautiful colour, have a swirl, and straight away I can smell strawberries in this one. And tasting it, So it's very definitely red fruits. There's strawberry, there's red currant in there, but the thing that is really striking is the softness of it. It's really soft, and it does have that slightly more creamy texture. It's just more gentle than a normal champagne. When you put this with food, what it's doing is it's acting as a palate cleanser, if you like, but leaving a trace of this lovely fruit that it's got across the tongue as well. Not cheap, £35 a bottle, but I have gone for the meal deal, so we're having curry for a tenner. So I figure we're not going out for dinner, spending the same amount on having a really nice bottle of fizz, curry at home, no babysitter. Thank you very much for watching. Do have a brilliant weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.